All right, thanks, guys. We are 43 and 29 in our last 72 plays on Patreon. We're also 11 and 6 in our last 17 daily best plays, and 27 and 15 in our underdog plays. That's our last 42 underdog plays. That's on patreon.com/Brock Page. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, let's go ahead and get into some Tuesday action. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Baltimore taking on the Yankees, 7:05 Eastern first pitch in New York. The Yankees are minus 290, totals at 10. Now, we did see a 25-cent fade of the Yankees in the early wagering. They opened 315 down to 290. Total open and remains at 10 flat. 86% of the consensus is leaning toward the Yankees, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Orioles are plus 260 on the money line. The Yankees are minus 150 on the run line. We have John Means for the Orioles, Domingo Germán for the Yankees. Germán's 15 and 2 on the year, 1.12 whip. He also has 117 strikeouts in just 107 innings. The Yankees have the most wins in the American League. They are 78 and 41 overall for the year, 37 games over 500. They are also 44 and 18 at home. Baltimore, on the other side, they have the second fewest wins in Major League Baseball. They are dead last in runs allowed on average per game. And when it comes to the scoring, the Yankees are 36 and 25 to the under at home. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Yankees minus 1.5 and the under 10 runs in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Now, right now, currently, at the time I'm recording this, it's actually Monday night. So we have a whole slate of Monday games currently in progress. So some of these stats might be one game off when you're watching this video. We did have one game completed here on Monday earlier today, and that was Baltimore taking on the Yankees. So those stats are current, but as far as everything else, might be one game behind because we did this upload so early. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Also, once again, wanted to remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page. We do daily plays on that site. We have a bunch of different packages and memberships you can subscribe to, and they begin at just $1.99 per month. There's plenty of free content there as well. That's patreon.com/Brock Page, and you can access my current record right there on that site. That's a part of the free content. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some more Tuesday action. All starts Eastern Standard Time, and on deck we've got the Reds taking on the Nats, 7:05 Eastern first pitch in the nation's capital. The Nats are minus 110, totals 10.5. Now, we saw movement on both the money line and the total in this one. We saw a 10-cent fade of Washington and movement upward on the total. The Nationals open $1.20 down to minus 110. Total open 10 up to 10.5. 72% are leaning Washington. And at the moment, the Reds are minus 102 on the money line. The Nats are plus 165 on the run line. We have Alex Wood for the Reds, Joe Ross for the Nats. Now, as bad as Joe Ross has been in spots, he still has 33 strikeouts in just 36 innings pitched. Alex Wood on the other side for Cincinnati. He comes into this game with a 5.65 ERA and a 1.53 whip. Now, since he's kind of struggled on the road here this year, winners in just 23 out of 55 when traveling. They've also won just 28 out of 67 as the underdog. They rank 21st in scoring on average per game. They're also 26th in road hits. Now, on the other side, the Nationals are 6th in striking batters out, 9th in hits allowed. They're also half a game ahead for that first wild card spot in the National League. The Nats are 31 and 25 at home, 7th in home hits. Now, total-wise, the Reds are 35 and 20 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Washington Nationals minus $1.10 and the under 10.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Cubs, Phillies, 7:05 Citizens Bank Park. The Cubs are minus 125 on the road, totals at 10. We did see a 10-cent move toward the Cubs and movement upward on the total. Chicago open 115 up to 125, total open 9.5 up to 10 flat. 79% are leaning Cubbies, and at the moment the Phils are plus 115 on the money line. Now, right now the Cubbies are plus $1.20, laying the run and a half. They have Jose Quintana probable on the bump for them tomorrow. Phillies have Jason Vargas projected for them. Vargas comes into this game with a 4.01 ERA and a 1.27 whip. He's also walked 39 batters in just 94 innings pitched. Now Quintana on the other side for the Cubs, 10-7 on the year, 110 strikeouts in just 129 innings pitched. The Cubs are in first place in the NL Central, 10 games over 500 at 64-54 overall for the year. They also rank 6th in offensive walks, 8th in runs allowed. Now the Phillies on the other side, 21st in hits, 23rd in hits allowed, and they've won just 11 out of 38 as the official Vegas underdog. Now total-wise, Philadelphia is 4-2 to the under in their last 6 at home. I'm going to lean Chicago Cubs minus $1.25 in the under 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Rangers, Blue Jays, 7:07 Toronto. The Rangers are minus 125, totals at 9.5. We did see a nickel fade of Texas and movement downward on the total. The Rangers open $1.30, down to 125. Total open 10, down to 9.5. 70% are leaning toward Toronto. And at the moment, the Blue Jays are plus $1.15 at home. The Rangers are plus 110 on the run line. We have Lance Lynn for the Rangers, Tommy Pannone for the Blue Jays. Pannone's 2-5 with a 6.83 ERA and a 1.41 WHIP. He's also walked 24 batters in just 58 innings pitched. Lance Lynn on the other side, definitely a shining star on this Rangers squad. He's 14-7 on the year, 3.60 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. He also has 178 strikeouts in just 155 innings pitched. The Blue Jays are 4th in the NL East, 49-72 overall for the year, 23 games under 500. They've also won just 22 out of 58 at home. They rank dead last in hits on average per game, and they've also won just 31 out of 86 as the official underdog. Now the Rangers on the other side, winners in 6 out of their last 10. They're also 37-23 against the spread away from home. And of course, when I refer to the spread in Major League Baseball, I am referring to the run line. Now total-wise, the Rangers are 34-26 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Rangers minus 125 and the under 9.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Mariners. Tigers. Sorry, it's nighttime, so the phone's a little bit more busy, a little bit more active. It's not 4 a.m. Anyway, next game, Mariners. Tigers. And that is going to be, did I cap this one? Mariners, Tigers. Yes, I did. 7:10 Eastern first pitch in Detroit. The Tigers are minus 155, totals at 9. We did see a 20-cent move toward the Tigers. Don't see that a whole lot this season. No movement on the total as of yet. The Tigers open $1.35 up to 155. Total open end remained at 9. 75% are leaning Tigers, and at the moment the Mariners are plus 145 on the money line. The Tigers are plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Yusei Kikuchi for the Mariners, Matt Boyd for the Tigers. Boyd comes into this contest with a 1.12 whip. He also has 188 strikeouts in just 140 innings pitched. Now Kikuchi on the other side for the Mariners, he's just 4-8 on the year, 5.34 ERA, 1.48 whip. The Mariners are 48-71 overall for the year. That is also 23 games under 500. They've also won just 21 out of 56 away from home this year. Winners in just 27 out of 82 as the underdog. They also rank 29th in striking out per contest, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. They're 28th in runs allowed, last in striking batters out as well. Seattle's also 37-19 to the over when traveling. So with all that said and done, this is a pure fade of Seattle, pure backing of Matt Boyd. I'm going to lean Detroit minus 155 in the over 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Dodgers, Marlins. 7:10 Miami. The Dodgers are minus 250, totals at 8. We actually saw a 15-cent fade of the Dodgers in the early wagering. No movement on the total as of yet. LA open 265 down to 250. Total open and remains at 8 flat. 81% of the consensus is leaning toward the Dodgers, 60% shaded toward the under. Right now the Marlins are plus 230 on the money line. The Dodgers minus $1.45 on the run line. We have Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, Jordan Yamamoto for the Marlins. Yamamoto comes into this game with a 4.17 ERA. He's also walked 23 batters in just 54 innings pitched. Clayton Kershaw on the other side, 11-2 on the year, 2.77 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. He also has 131 strikeouts in just 130 innings pitched. Miami has the worst record in the National League. They are 44-73 overall for the year, nearly 40 games under 500. They also rank dead last in scoring on average per game. Now, the Dodgers on the other side, they have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're also first in offensive walks, and when it comes to the total, Miami is 8-4 to the over in their last dozen. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Dodgers minus 1.5 and the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Red Sox, Indians, 7-10 Cleveland. The Indians are minus 110, totals 8.5. We saw a nickel fade of the Indians and movement downward on the total. Cleveland open $1.15 down to minus 110. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 56% are leaning Indians, 75% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Red Sox are minus 102 on the money line. The Indians are plus $1.40 on the run line. We have Chris Sale for the Red Sox, Mike Clevinger for the Indians. Clevinger 7-2 with a 3.02 ERA and a 1.01 WHIP. He also has 89 strikeouts in just 62 innings pitched. Sale on the other side for Boston, just 6-11 on the year, 4.41 ERA. Boston's dropped 7 out of their last 10 ball games. They're also just 3-11 in their last 14. They are 16.5 games back in that AL East behind the Yankees. They're also 7.5 games back for that second wildcard spot. They're winners in just 7 out of their last 17 as the underdog. They're 24th in runs allowed and 20th in walks allowed. Now, Cleveland on the other side, they're just 3rd in runs allowed, so really stingy pitching rotation there. They're also 5th in striking batters out. They're tied for first in the AL Central with Minnesota. They are 71-47 overall for the year. That'll put them at 24 games over 500. And when it comes to the total, Boston is 35-23 to the over on the road. I gotta lean Cleveland minus $1.10 and the over 8.5 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Mets, Braves, 7:20 Atlanta. The Braves are minus $1.25, totals 9.5. No movement on the total as of yet. We did see a 10-cent fade of Atlanta in the early wagering. The Braves open $1.35 down to 125. Total open and remains at 9.5. 51% are leaning Mets, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now, New York is plus $1.15 on the money line. The Braves are plus $1.50 on the run line. We have Zach Wheeler for the Mets, Max Fried for the Braves. Fried is 13-4 on the year, 122 strikeouts in just 120 innings. Wheeler on the other side for the Mets, 4.20 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. The Braves are in first place in the NL East, 6.5 games ahead of Washington in the division. They're also 20 games over 500 right now, 70-50 overall for this season. They're 32-25 at home, 5th in scoring, 7th in hits. They're also 58-32 as the favorite. Now, the Mets on the other side, winners in just 2 out of their last 8 head-to-head matchups with the Braves. They've also won just 26 out of 63 away from home. The Mets rank 22nd in road runs allowed and 27th in road hits allowed. When it comes to the number, the Mets are 39-24 to the over on the road. 4 out of their last 5 in Atlanta got over the total as well. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Braves minus 125 and the over 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Twins, Brewers, 8-10 Milwaukee. The Brewers are minus 120, no total as of yet. Now, we did see a 10-cent fade of Milwaukee in the early wagering. They opened $1.30 down to 120. Once again, no line on the total as of yet. We have Martin Perez for the Twins, Chase Anderson for the Brewers. Now, Anderson's walked 33 batters in 99 innings pitched. Perez on the other side for the Twins, 8-5 on the year, 106 strikeouts in just 122 innings pitched. Milwaukee's dropped 5 out of their last 10. They're also 3rd in the NL Central. They rank 25th in striking out, 22nd in walks allowed. Now, Minnesota on the other side You don't want to give them a free pass because they're third in scoring, second in hits, 35-21 away from home this year. They've also won 5 out of their last 7 when traveling. So with all that in mind, not going to make a play on the total, obviously, but I am going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Twins plus $110, winning this one outright for some money line cash.